pop music is often small scale, you know, me and my girlfriend holding hands in the back of the pictures, but he took the non-teenage experience, even as a very young man, Ray Davies, you know, reading newspapers on Sundays, watching rivers flow, interrelating with your neighbours, and made these the stuff of songs.
I had a party at my house. I'm not a very sociable person, but I had a party and lots of fashionable people came.
And the trouble with Ray Davies is that even when he was being a pop star, it was evident that this was not an ordinary bloke who you might be able to walk into a pub and say, "Can I get you a pint of bitter, my friend?" Because he might change to bugger off, frankly, and more like, or he might take a swing at you.
There was a fashion designer there who accused me of wearing flares, and I wasn't. I was wearing, well, they had a slight flare, but not amazingly so. And we had a punch-up, and his girlfriend beat me up as well, with a handbag, or was it his handbag? But anyway, I threw them out of the house, out of my semi. And I thought, right, I'm going to get this, and I got angry and started writing a song.
They seek him here, they seek him there. His clothes are loud, but never square.
You could wear anything and people would think it was fashion. If you had the confidence enough to pull it off, you could get away with anything. And I thought in a way, I really liked that because it was kind of anti-art. And I think that anti-art is actually sometimes a lot more artistic than art. I kind of think the person who ever invented the word art is maybe a little bit pretentious.
I'm walking down the street and we just had dedicated follow fashion out. And I was trying to hide and people came up to me and said, "Oh yes he is, oh yes he is." I said, "No, I'm not."
The amount of pressure which someone like Ray Davies was subjected to was quite extraordinary.
I was on television on Top of the Pops, I remember it, they'd taped it. And I tried to put the TV in the gas oven.
I'm not surprised that he's had the difficulties he's had.
You know, to say the least, acting irrationally.
A band was expected to produce 2 albums a year and 4 singles.
I love that sort of pressure when people want you to do something. It's great. You just have to force the work out. It didn't bother me at all. Obviously, it had a side effect. You know, it wasn't too pleasant to live with, and I'm still very difficult to live with when I'm in that mode because nothing else matters. Focus, total focus. But obviously, there was the downside. The downside was that you get ill. Yeah.
It's always having breakdowns, dear. No, you're right. It was like... which breakdown we're talking about?
Ray is the thin line. I mean, they say there's a thin line between insanity and genius. And Ray's right there. He's sitting there on that line.
I think creative people have a lot of problems with what's going on in here, haven't they?
I'd just been really ill, and I don't know what was wrong with it. I think in my book I called it overload. It wasn't a nervous breakdown because I don't know, I just didn't know who I was. I was reacting against who people thought I was. So to recover from that, I just sat in a dark room. It was a very hot summer, and this must have been April, May, and I just wanted to write a plodding little song. And if you listen to the chords, they're very therapeutic.
We had this strange conflict in the Kinks. They were very rough working class boys. They were violent, they were crude. All these things very much came through in their stage act and in their personal lives as well.
My girlfriend's run up with my car and gone back to her ma and pa, telling tales of drunkenness and cruelty.
But perhaps because of their management in a sense, as much as anything, as much as the changes in British society that were going on at the time, Ray suddenly became extremely interested in the middle classes.
Help me, help me, help me say a word.
originally had two managers, Robert Waite and Grenville Collins, who were the society duo that had discovered them.
What they were just two dandies, two city gents.
Live this life of luxury, blazing on a sunny afternoon.
All they knew about was getting gigs and society dues, which was great for Ray because he saw the world from both sides.
So